Okay, welcome to the 3-step sales process to close more deals. I'm going to show you, this is our sales by service system. This is the system that I've implemented for all my studios, all my clients that have seen the growth to 80 to 100K per month in monthly recurring revenue. And this will guarantee you to hit that 60 new memberships per month 100%. Okay, I'm not going to break it all down, but I'm going to give you the core 3 steps of this that every studio seems to miss, seems to really not understand, okay? And we call this the gap. So as we are nurturing our leads, right, and getting an understanding of where they're at and what they're trying to do and installing new and empowering beliefs, right, we're smashing the limiting beliefs, but how do we empower them with new beliefs? Well, it's this middle piece right here where it says the gap, okay? The gap is essentially having your prospects understand this is where they're at, and this is their dream outcome of where they want to be. And in between is a gap, and we're going to build the bridge for them to walk through and be able to achieve their dream outcome. So, how do we start with this? It starts with a vision. So fitness, we have to understand that fitness is one of the very few things that we sell that has no tangible result. Meaning when someone buys a membership, they don't leave there with the body of their dreams. Not yet. It will take time and commitment. And so if we can't have their mind understand that what that is, and we can't empower beliefs and understanding that that's what it's going to take, they're never going to buy. That's why you see a lot of studios who ask, what are your fitness goals? Where do you live? Do you work in the area? All that type of stuff. And then they go right into what their program is. And then you get the, I'm going to think about it. I have to talk to my husband, all that type of stuff. And so to eliminate those objections preemptively so that we can close and onboard them, we need to understand vision, right? So let's take, for example, you have a 6-month committed membership. So when I'm talking with a prospect and I get an understanding of where they're at, what they're trying to go, and what they're trying to do, I'm going to ask them about their vision. Hey, if we were able to achieve your goal in the next 6 months, what would your life look like? And they're going to probably say, I'm not really sure. You say, well, let's really think about it. You told me the understanding of why you're trying to achieve this goal. What will your life look like when you achieve that goal? Well, I'll feel better in my skin. I'll have more confidence. I'll have more beliefs in who I am. I'll just feel better as a person, right? Think about all the people that have achieved success through your program and what they've turned into. A lot of it, of course, is definitely a physical change, but it's also a mental change. And it's because they're inspired because when they start seeing the results, they start seeing their vision more clearly. But we need to create that vision in the very beginning. So what would your life look like in the next 6 months if we were able to help you lose that 20 pounds of fat that you've been dying to get rid of since you were in college, right? And you're here now and you're not an athlete anymore and you're looking to change. And we create that vision. That's a new empowering belief. My life would change. I feel so much better. My spouse would love me more. They'll be more attracted to me, right? You'd be amazed how many things come up that they're internally dealing with, that they're emotionally dealing with. And we know as fitness professionals that fitness, while again, has extrinsic value, we need to focus on the intrinsic. We need to focus on what inside of them moves them, because people buy based on emotion and they justify with logic. So when we create that vision and understanding and they can see what their life can really look like if they achieve their goal in the next 6 months, it really changes their mindset. The next one is the reality, meaning what are you doing now besides talking to me over the phone to actually achieve this goal? 8 times out of 10, they're doing nothing, right? They're like, I've not really done anything, right? And if they are doing something, it's something that's not serving them. Maybe they belong to another gym that isn't working out for them. They decide to go with the Planet Fitness route because it's a cheaper offer, but they're not getting the results. Well, of course they're not getting the results. It's a $9.99 a month membership, and there's no one helping you, guiding you through the program, right? There's no one helping you there. If they're doing nothing, there's an expression I love that inaction is a form of self-abuse. So constantly understanding that if they're not doing anything and if they don't make a decision with you moving forward, guess what? They ain't going anywhere. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change in their life. They're going to be in the same place. So it gives more leverage for you as you're creating this empowering belief that, man, if I don't make a decision today, then I'm going to stay the same place and be miserable. No one wants to be in the same place and miserable. People want to change. And understanding that The pain of staying the same needs to be greater than the pain of change, because changing is painful, but the pain of staying the same needs to be greater than the pain of change. If they're able to change and adapt and evolve and realize that they can see their growth and they're willing to make that commitment because they understand that their current reality isn't helping them, then they're more inclined to actually take on your offer. And then finally, it's the roadblocks. One of my favorite questions I love to ask when it comes to roadblocks is, hey, so we understand where the vision is. We understand that if we do nothing today, we're not going to get to where we want to be. So what's been holding you back from making this a priority? And this is where you're going to hear schedule, price, spouse, commitment. You're going to hear all the objections that you typically get at the end of the sale. And guess what? You get to overcome them right then and there, right? Schedule. Hey, here's our schedule. Do you feel like any of these classes match up? Well, actually, this time would work the best. Fantastic, right? Your spouse. Do they not support you? Well, they don't really know what I'm doing. Well, what if we got them involved, right? And this is where you become really more creative with how you provide a solution, because people love customized solutions, okay? They don't want to be the general populace. So the more that you could customize their plan and their solution, when I say customize their plan, I mean don't change the membership plan. Customize it to them on how they're going to achieve their goal. Let's build this idea, this plan, this objective so that you can achieve your goal while following through with the program at the price point that we offer, what the investment is. So really understanding their roadblocks and preemptively fighting those objections before they even come up is going to literally change the game of when you do the offer and the pitch. So understand, we need to create a vision. They need to see where they're going if they achieve this goal, what their life will look like, because the mind can really create that reality for them in their head. Getting into the reality, what are they doing now to achieve their goal? They're probably not doing anything. So they now know that they need to make a decision. If they decide not to join with you for whatever reason, at least they know that they need to make a change ASAP. And guess what? I guarantee you this will happen. If they say no to you and they fight you off, but they understand that their reality is not great, they will call you back and say, you know what? I'm willing to take on that offer and try. Why? Because you were the one that was willing to really talk to them and really show them that they have a deeper problem than just the extrinsic, right? They realize they're not doing anything. They got to make a change. And then finally, you have the roadblocks. And this is how we identify the objections so that we can get very clear on where they're at and what they're trying to do and what's preventing them from really getting there, and how we as a program, as a studio, as a brand can solve that for them. We want to be solution-based with every form of the conversation. If you follow these 3 steps, I promise you your conversion rate will skyrocket. Okay, it's how I've been able to get my clients to achieve 72% increased revenue in just 14 days by just implementing these 3 questions. Okay, so this is part of the Sales by Service system. The full Sales by Service system is in our coaching program. But if you have these 3 steps, I guarantee you, you're going to get more conversions, more sales, and more memberships coming through the door each and every month.